Hey guys, how are you? Hey beautiful souls. I hope that you all are having an intentionally amazing day, night, evening, wherever you may be in the world. So I wanted to come before you briefly. And I know that someone needs to hear this message. And before I get into that, I want to encourage you to keep an open mind, keep an open heart. Don't be so quick to judge, or don't be so quick to put forth your personal ideologies, opinions, and things like that. Things that we normally do when we are battling with cognizant dissonance, receiving the information from external sources via a person, via audio, video, things like that. And it combating with the programming that we already have. So the other day, a young lady called me, and she was going through some things, and listening to her story without divulging too much of her personal information, she was feeling broke and broken, abused, and mistreated, physically and verbally. And how this person she thought was honorable, who honored her and operated with integrity and loyalty and had good character. And so she opened up her mind, body, and soul and gave to this individual, gave to this man all of her. She was helping to support him mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, investing in his dreams and stuff like that. And the way he ended up treating her was extremely dishonoring, dishonorable, disrespectful, being verbally abusive, saying derogatory things, physically putting his hands on her. And as I'm listening to her, I can sense how hurt she was, how broken she was, how she allowed this man to completely devalue her self-esteem and her self-worth for a period of time that was long enough for those things to settle within her heart, to settle within her mind. And it brought me to the fact and to the knowing why I teach what I teach, which is all things self-mastery. And before I continue, those of you who don't know me, I go by Venus, a goddess. I am a self-mastery solutionist and transformational coach, meaning I teach things, all things self-mastery, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and sometimes financially in business. And I teach women and men alike, young women, young men alike, how to raise their level of self-outcome, which is your self-awareness, your self-love, your self-concept, and your self-actualization. All things dealing with your self-worth, all things dealing with raising your level of self-esteem, knowing your worth, and before all of that, even knowing who you are. A lot of us are living with the program in which we were taught by other people, places, and things. And although our mothers, fathers, guardians, whomever was installing these programs within us, now that we are mimicking, now that we are living these things out, was, even though they did it in love, it wasn't necessarily for our benefit. It wasn't necessarily for us to raise our levels. You know what I'm saying? Our level in self-awareness, our self-love, to evolve to a higher state of being. You understand? And what I realized is that even me, and I'm always quick to be very transparent and put myself in those situations. And it's why I've been so effective in helping other women and men raise those levels. Not only that, but to also reprogram their mental database so they can begin recreating their reality and take accountability for their actions. And what I explained to her is that an individual who knows who they are, who truly loves themselves, right? An individual who has a high level of self-esteem. Not that you're arrogant, not that you don't also deal with your ego or your she-go, right? Because we deal with those things, but on a level to whereas you're no longer in a place, a lower state of place, to allow any person, place, or thing to come into your environment and take control of it in a way where it doesn't serve you. And that's important, because if you study statistics and study people and just listen, a lot of us who make choices that are not beneficial to our mind, body, soul, our financial situation, our purpose, our path, our passion, our goals, 90% of us who makes those decisions are operating or make those decisions from a lower state of being. When you are thriving and operating from a lower state of being, you will make decisions that will not serve you. For instance, if you have you do, it's sad, but you have a lot of women out here who are seeking relationships with not only men but other individuals, and vice versa. You have men out here seeking relationships with women and other individuals in their life for the sole purpose of what they can do for them. They're making decisions, choosing these individuals so they can fulfill something that they're lacking. Whether it's low self-esteem, you're seeking for someone to validate you in certain areas. If it's financially, you're seeking for someone based on the premises of how much money he have, or how he or his willingness to give you his or her hard-earned money to fill a lack that you have, that you experiencing. And most times it's never going to serve you any higher purpose, because you make decisions and what you realize is that you're negotiating with your self-value, your self-love, your self-worth. Because if you are making these choices from a lower state and not being where you are mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, you are going to choose people who you think are going to fill those voids, and it only end up being worse, putting you in a worse state, putting you in a perpetual state of misery and unhappiness. Because we all know, when you choose people based on financial status and what they can do for you, now you find yourself sacrificing who you are, sacrificing your morals, your values, your integrity, and putting up with shit that you would never put up with had you chose you first, had you known or had the awareness to take care of you first, to put yourself in a position to where now you can allow someone in your life. And it's not based upon those materialistic things. It's not based upon those things in which will never serve you a higher purpose. If you don't love yourself and have a low self-worth, low self-value, low self-esteem, you choose people based upon that energy. So you're attracting those people who is going to validate that. They're not going to uplift that. I always say people date and choose based on the levels and where they are, the level of their self-esteem. So if your self-esteem is very low, you're going to choose people. You're going to choose others with low self-esteem. You're going to choose other people. If you're not where you at financially and not on the path to growth and evolving in all these areas, that's what you're going to attract. You get what you give in the universe. So instead of us taking time to set back, set back, get in tune with ourselves. Remember who you are. reprogram the mental database that has caused you to live out this perpetual life of misery and unhappiness. Because if you were truly honest with yourself, you ain't happy. You can fool everybody else, but you cannot fool yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to see yourself. You have to face yourself. And if what you're facing every day is not acceptable to you, then baby girl, baby boy, my loves, you have to do the inner work. There is no way around it. The issue with most of us lives is that we want to keep setting aside, fixing ourselves. And then we jump from relationship, and relationships we jump in don't always have to be on an intimate basis. It doesn't always have to be a sexual thing. It doesn't always have to be I want to be in his life or I want her to be in my life, and vice versa. It doesn't always have to business relationships, friendships, whatever it may be. Until you get yourself together, until you rediscover who you are, your passion, your purpose, and your path, you're going to keep on making decisions and choosing people to be around you that is not going to serve your higher purpose, mainly because you don't even know what your higher purpose is. Do you even know what your core values are? Do you even know what you truly like and dislike? Do you even know your passion, your purpose? Are you on the path? Are you even practicing self-mastery so you can now invite and enter into relationships based on a healthy mentality, a healthy spirituality, a healthy physical aspect of yourself, and financially? Are you where you want to be? And that's not to say you feel you have to get to a certain level in order to invite someone in your life, in order to experience the love, joy, peace, the happiness, the abundance, and all of those beautiful things, having someone in your life to go on that journey. Because truth be told, we was never here to be on individual islands, separated. We are one. You are I, and I am you. We are one. We are one with the universe. We are one with nature. We are one. So it gives me the encouragement and the passion to teach the way I teach, because you are me. And how much would I help myself? How much do I want to evolve? How much do I mean to myself? So of course you're gonna mean that, equivalent or higher. Because I have a genuine love for myself. So I'm going to have a genuine love for you. Now, based upon the energy that you bring, I might not want you around me, but I do have a genuine love and a care for you. I might not fuck with you, but I do care about you and love for you, and have love for you, and wish you the utmost best in all things that you do. However, getting back to, this young lady, I had to remind her that, because she started feeling down and depressed and not worthy, not only for herself, but not worthy of a genuine and a divine love. And I had to remind her that you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice based upon where you were at that time. You made a choice, and it's not a loss. It is a lesson. In life, there are levels. There are levels to everything, just like in a game. I don't know if you all, I tell my age, I don't know if you all are familiar with the Super Mario game, but when I started playing, you start the first level and it's pretty, minimum. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. It's not that intricate. All you do is go through the board and you see these little mushrooms and you figure out that you can kill them by just jumping on their head. And then now you on a ball. Now you got a rhythm. You just going through the game, trying to get to that flag, to the end of that level, to advance to the next level. And you just jumping on their head. You're hitting a couple of bricks. You collecting a couple of coins, and all well and good, easy breezy, right? Do you know what's on that next level? And I know the way we were trained to think is that, the next level can't be, can't be much, because all I had to do is jump on a couple of mushrooms' head. But when you get to that second level, that third level, it gets harder. It gets more intricate. I would take that back. I wouldn't say it gets harder, because that's based on the perception and the mentality that an individual have. But it is going to be different. There is going to be different things. There is going to be more that is required of you, because in the first level, you had to just jump on a couple of mushrooms head and so be with it, and hit a couple of bricks. In that second level, third level, fourth level, certain things start to be revealed to you that you didn't see before. You start to realize that there are imaginary bricks that if you just jump up in a certain spot, it will reveal certain things to you, whether it's a coin or whether it's whatever. And in life, it's the same thing. That wasn't on level 1 yet. It's on level 2. Did you know what was going to be in level 2? A lot of us don't know. So there are always going to be things that you're going to go through. And based upon the knowledge that you have, based upon your perspective, you can move through that level peacefully, gracefully, even with everything that's going on. You can still move that level and do what you need to do without going into a state of depression, without linking up with people that's going to hurt you, abuse you. You can. Because I sure as hell thought once I got to that level with that big monkey and he shooting fireballs out his mouth, I surely thought I was going to be able to jump on his head and he died just like the mushroom on the first, second, and third level. But it was not so. So I had to change my strategy. I had to start thinking differently. I had to raise some levels. I had to figure out how the hell am I going to kill this thing, because it's not like the mushrooms that I killed and left. So it's and then most times you don't make it to that flag because that sucker done got you. And that's okay, because how would you know unless you experienced it? How would you know to strategize, how to strategize, and the tools that you need to be effective, to get to that next level, to defeat him? And it's just in life. And I wanted to encourage you, don't beat yourself up about this. It's life. You're going to make your decisions. You don't know what you don't know. You also don't have to keep making those same decisions that's going to hurt you or bring you down in ways in which take longer for you to bounce back from. This is why self-mastery is important, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, because unless you are in a place of a higher state of awareness in all of these different areas, you are going to continue choosing people, places, and things that is not going to serve you, is going to cause you to devolve, to go downward instead of upward. You don't have to keep making decisions that's going to affect your future in a seemingly negative way, a state that just doesn't serve you, in ways that just not going to serve you. You don't have to do that. Take the choice you use as a lesson, not a loss. It is okay. And it's not so much of what you did yesterday. It's what you decide to do today. It's what you decide to do tomorrow. And I just put a post up earlier on Facebook and Instagram. The person you were yesterday should not be the person you are today. When was the last time you sat yourself down and did a self-evaluation check to see where you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, to see if there's something that you can be doing better? See if there are things that you can be doing that's going to raise your level of awareness, your level of esteem, your level of self-love. And I know a lot of people have this misunderstanding and this approach to caring for people. Oh, I just love this person. I just love this person so much, and I sacrifice so much, all in the name of love. But baby, let me tell you something. Loving someone else and accepting all the things that they bring that is not healthy to you only shows how much you don't love yourself. If you are willing to love someone that continues to abuse you mentally, physically, spiritually, one of them or all of them or a few of them, then baby, you don't love yourself, because anybody that loves themselves will never tolerate that. Never. You don't get to abuse me mentally, physically, spiritually. You don't get to talk crazy to me. You don't get to treat me any kind of way for the sake of love. You don't get to do that. And what I always say is that, yes, unconditional love is a thing, and it is a beautiful thing, baby. But learn to put conditions on your unconditions. Because people will take advantage of that. There are individuals in this world that wake up every day with Pinky and the Brain syndrome. How we going to take over the world? How we going to take over this person? You have people like that every day that prey on your spirituality, that prey on your divinity, that prey on your kindness, that prey on your love, that prey and look forward to you turning the other cheek. That's not love, baby. That's not love, baby. And that's not loving yourself. Learn to love yourself more than you perceive to love others, allowing them to do everything that they do to you. That's not healthy for you. That's not causing you to allow. If a person is not uplifting you, if a person is not encouraging you, inspiring you, if a person is not getting with you for the purpose of giving to you, loving you, caring for you, and in turn, of course, that reflects back to them. So loving them is loving someone else is loving themselves. That's a higher level of thinking. But if you're continually getting into these relationships because of what you can get out of it, you're doing yourself and them a disservice. You should not be getting into no relationship based upon what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. If you have someone in your life that is not encouraging you, lifting you up, being your biggest cheerleader, your motivator, your encouragement, being there for you, helping you evolve in these areas, then that person is not for you. It's not the best for you. Damn the love. Damn, I just love this person. No, you're in love with the idea of love. But it's not just words. You got to pay attention to someone's deeds more than you pay attention to their potential. Because what their potential is, if it isn't what they're actually showing you and what they're displaying you, then damn that potential. You can go have that potential across the street. But that's not what you should allow. You got to, and thinking like that only comes by the practice of self-mastery, raising your mental, raising your level of mentality, your consciousness, your awareness, and a lot of different things, not just one thing. You don't know what you don't know. And this is why people who are weak-willed are easily swayed to the right, to the left, to the side, to the back. It's because you are not in your mind. Everybody else is in your mind but you. You got to get people out of your mind. You got to learn that just because you choose to separate yourself from someone, from people, places, and things, because that's what it's going to take. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that you love yourself enough to put your happiness, your peace, your passions, your goals in life before you put anyone else's. And I know others would disagree with things I say, but if you continually put, I know throughout times, and this is for like the mothers, anyone who parent, put your kids first. A lot of times we make so many sacrifices for our children. We put ourselves on the back burner. We sacrifice our happiness, our own peace. We do all of this, especially if you're a single mother. You have to do everything but care for yourself. Everything but tend to yourself. Everything but enjoy something that makes you happy. Everything but doing for yourself. And if you're constantly doing that, if you're constantly giving everything that is in your jar, you don't have anything else to give yourself. So now you're giving from a place of emptiness. And that's never going to be effective because that comes with frustration and all of these different things. I always tell my children, I gave them analogy. I had a glass, right? And I had some water in a glass. It was a clear glass. And I said, listen, I want you to use this glass and think of mommy, right? And I started pouring water in the glass. And I was like, these drops represent love, mommy's ability to love. These represent mommy's ability to inspire. And I kept pouring water in the jar and until it got full, right? And when it started to spill over, and I said, now you see how the counter got wet and everything that was in that glass, the vicinity of that glass got wet. Everything else is for everybody else. The overflow is for you. And that's not to say that I don't love you, baby, because I love my heartbeats. I love my heartbeats. But I have risen to a level of self-mastery that says, if my glass is not full, I can't give you anything. And my desire is to give you everything. So the best thing that y'all can do for mommy is make sure that y'all do everything that y'all can do to make sure mommy glass is full. Because you don't get what's in mommy glass. You get the overflow. So the best thing you can do, and I use that with everybody I allow in my space. But everything. You don't get what's in Venus glass. You get the overflow. So if you're a person who thinks that you're going to continually drink in my water or whatever it is I have in my cup, abuse and just taking my energy, taking my love, just abuse it. If you think I'm going to keep on giving until my glass is empty, you are sadly mistaken, because doing that leads to nowhere great. Doing that leads you to be in a place of thirst. And when you're making thirsty decisions, desperate decisions, you don't make good decisions. You don't make wise decisions. And I want to share that with you. Learn to keep and fill your cup first. And do it unapologetically. It doesn't matter what people say. Those people aren't you, and we all have our lives to live, and how we live it should be respected. But it's not in accordance to us living together in peace and harmony and growing each other. Then baby, you can do that over there. But what I'm not going to do is going to continue giving my love to you, my sacrificing and my inspiration and my courage and my energy. You got to protect your energy. What I'm not going to do is continue to do that. When my glass run empty, it's going to run empty because it's life. You have to replenish it. Learn to replenish what's in your glass. If you need more love, learn to fill your love. Learn to fill yourself with self-love. If you need more awareness, learn to fill yourself with more self-awareness. Do what you got to do. If it's finances, learn to fill your pockets first. So much of it's like, oh, I'll give somebody my last dollar. No, the hell I won't. No, I won't. I will not give you my last dollar. I'm going to keep my last dollar and multiply it, and then I'll give you something. But you don't get to take my last. You don't deserve my last. You're not worthy of my last. Because if I thought like that, then I'm not worthy to even give you anything. So I wanted to encourage you today, no matter what situations that you may be in. If you made a choice, you made a choice. If you made a choice that wasn't beneficial to you, that put you in a place of brokenness, then by all means, don't let that beat you up. Don't let that tear you. Use that as a lesson, not a loss. It is obviously something that needed to be revealed to you. And I always say, people that we allow, that we attract, that we gravitate to are mere images of aspects of you. We are multifaceted people. So if you have people or gravitate to people that do certain things, maybe that is bitter, miserable, messy, hateful, wicked, maybe there is something that is still lingering in you that you need to change, because people are a reflection of you. Or should I say 80% of what you attract is your reflection, is your projection, because you attract what you are. The energy you give is the energy that you get in return, and it comes in many forms. That is the law of the universe, the absolute law that cannot be denied. It is undisputable. And I say 80% because there's always going to be 20% that's just going to come your way. You know what I'm saying? But the great thing about it is you have a choice. You do not have to entertain people, places, and things that don't serve you or higher purpose. So just because that 20% may slip around you somehow, and you know that you're not attracting that, okay? Because you do have energy vultures. You do have people that constantly seek to steal, kill, and destroy. Those are the people I always say you're not attracting, because you know who you are within. You know that it's not you. You know you're not an inwardly wicked person. You know you thrive and operate in righteousness most of the time. So that 20%, you still have a choice. You can choose to entertain it and allow it, or you can choose to separate yourself from it or do not entertain it. You always have a choice. Be accountable and use those choices that you make, especially the ones that are not beneficial to you, as lessons, not losses. And before you decide to get into these relationships, do your proper vetting. Do your proper vetting first. And that's what a wise woman does. A wise woman who operates with a high self-alka, with a high self-awareness, self-love, self-concept, and self-actualization. We make better decisions because we don't entertain people, places, or things that like to dwell in unrighteousness. It's just foolish. We don't entertain that. It's no, bye. Bye. My life is not a baseball game, baby. You don't get 3 strikes with me. You damn near get the first one, because your intuition should guide you into letting you know, into pricking you when somebody's around you that ain't right. Now, we need to hold ourselves accountable. It's not that you didn't see the signs, that you didn't see them flags. You ignored the signs and you ignored the flags. Stop blaming other people, places, and things for the choices you make and for the results that you get. Take accountability. Don't allow it to beat you up. Acknowledge it. Learn to do better. And how you learn to do better is by seeking what you need to evolve. No one is the master of all things. No one is. When you see entertainers that want to get better, or songstress, or, athletes, a basketball athlete is not going to go hire a tennis coach. But that sounds crazy. Now, a person that is ready to evolve is going to invest in themselves. So if you need to evolve in self-development, go invest in somebody that masters in that area that can help you on their journey of self-development, evolving mentally, spiritually, emotionally. If it's a basketball that you want to get better in, go invest in yourself and put yourself in the basketball camp. If it's singing you want to perfect, go hire a vocal coach. Put yourself in the circumference of people, places, and things that is going to be conducive to your involvement, to you getting better in these areas. People will spend hundreds of $1,000s on a day, $50 to $80 to $300 on a pair of shoes or sneakers, a bag, or a material thing, but they won't spend that same money in a coach that can help them evolve. People will spend that same money on concerts, unnecessary things. eating out, dining out, pure entertainment, but won't invest not a dollar in helping them grow internally. That just don't make no sense. That just don't make no sense. If you can, help me to share this message, because just like the young lady I was speaking to, she needed to hear what I said to her. She needed to hear that. She needed to hear that. And I know many others need to hear something I said, because when we're led by the Spirit to do something, it's not only for you, it's for somebody or somebody's else. So do me the honor in sharing this message. Somebody needs to hear this. It takes a second to do so. And as always, I bid you infinite enlightenment, infinite love, infinite peace, joy, wealth, health, abundance in all of these areas. And may you learn to love yourself first. Put yourself first so that you can effectively give your loved ones the genuine and divine love, care, support that they need. And you can only do that from a place of fulfillment, a fulfilling place, a filled place in those areas. Stop being easily swayed by the external world. Remember who you are. You are divine. You are powerful. You have the ability and everything you need within to recreate your reality, to reprogram those thoughts and behavior patterns that don't no longer serve you. No generational curse is on you. You don't have to break generational curses, but you do have to change generational behavior patterns. You do have to do that, and you deserve it. And if life doesn't continually teach us something else, even though our spirits and our souls are infinite, this body is not infinite. This experience that we are embracing in life, this life experience, has an expiration date on it. And no one knows the day or the hour. Make the decision to evolve. Make the decision to choose you. Make the decision to recreate your reality, to reprogram your mind. Make the decisions to move away from Western theologies and philosophies and adapting to everybody else's culture but yours, your divine culture. Everybody else's ways besides your divine ways, your inherited ways, your righteous ancestral ways, spiritualities. Remember who you are. I tell my children and other people, who promised you tomorrow? Who promised you next week or next month or next year? Do what you need to do today. And if there is anything that you ever need as far as guidance and control, I invite you to get in touch with me. Until next time, I am Venus, a goddess, your absolute favorite self-mastery, all things self-mastery, solutionist and transformational coach. And my passion is to help guide you along your path to living an abundant life by raising your levels of awareness, your levels of self-love, self-concept, self-actuality, self-worth, remembering or rediscovering your passion, your purpose, and your path. Your passion, your purpose, and your path. Until next time, I will see you guys soon.